A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to ANB Exam Forum. Student, in today's session, we are going to see the exam trend, more specific to SSC CGL, and we are going to see the trend for the last 5 years, that is from year 2020 to 2024. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's begin the session. So as I told you that we are going to have a comparative analysis of the last 5 years, and first we will see the number of vacancies what we got in the last 5 years. Okay, this is an important factor. As you know, more the vacancy, more will be the probability of getting selection in that particular exam. Okay, afterwards we will see a very important factor, that is the attendance. In other words, how many candidates are registered and how many have appeared in that particular exam. Afterwards, we will see the shortlisting ratio for the tier 1. As you know, in the advertisement, SSC does not clearly mention what will be the ratio of shortlisting for the tier 1. In today's session, we are going to see what is the shortlisting ratio based on the past experience, based on the last 5-year trend that we are having. Okay, and afterwards we will see the cutoff for the tier 1. Okay, I'm not telling about the tier 2 cutoff, only tier 1 will be our focus. Okay, so let's see. The first factor that I told you is the number of vacancy, and it plays a very important role in the selection. You can also think like that, if vacancies are more will be the probability of getting selection in the exam, right? And if you see the last 5-year trend, we have seen almost 36,000 vacancy in year 2022. It may be because of the backlog, but generally if you see for year 2021 and 23, it is almost around 7,000, 8,000. And in the last year, that is 2024, we have seen 17,727 vacancies, which is actually a good number. But the moral of story is that for year 2025, we can expect around 8,000 vacancies from this particular graph. If there is any backlog vacancy, we will get more number of vacancies for the upcoming SSC CGL exam, right? This is the first point. Okay, and the second point is the number of candidates registered and appeared, that is attendance percentage. This is a beautiful graph. If you see, for year 2022, I told you earlier that there were 36,000 vacancy, and as you can see, more the vacancy, more the students are attracted toward that exam. So almost 33.5 lakh candidates have registered. Similarly, if you see 17,727 vacancy in year 2024, 36 lakh students have registered. But the thing is that 50%, you can see here, like in year 2024, 52% have only appeared for the tier 1 exam. Okay, so only 18 lakh out of 36 lakh have appeared for tier 1 exam. But if you see in year 2020, only 32% of candidates have appeared for that exam. Okay, so what does this mean? It means the attendance plays a very important role. So you can filter out the number of registered candidate after the tier 1. Like your competition is almost half. Since out of 33 you are getting only 16, it means you have more probability of getting the selection in the tier 2 exam. Okay. And the next thing is the qualification for the tier 1. Okay, for that I'm going to give you the next slide, that is tier 1 shortlisting ratio. What is that ratio? It is number of candidates appeared by the number of candidates who have qualified. So this is the tabular form of the previous graph that we have seen. And if you see the shortlisting ratio, as I told you, appeared by qualified. So what I did, the number of candidates who have appeared for the tier 1, I divided it by the number of candidate who have appeared for that exam. In that way, we got the shortlisting criteria for the tier 1. And if you see for the last 3 years, it is approximately 9 to 10. Okay, 9 to 10 times they are calling. So if vacancies are around say 17,000, 18,000, so they are calling it almost 1,86,000, right? Similarly, for year 23, if you see, it is vacancy are around 8,400, so they are calling 81,000. Okay, more or less it is around 10 times. Okay, but here if you see in year 2021, this 38, pretty like I don't know why this much shortlisting ratio is happening. It might be the number which I am getting from the sources. It might be incorrect, but this is a very huge number. It should not be there. It should be around maybe 10 to 16. Like if you see here 2020, it is 16 times they are calling. Okay, but in general you can expect almost 10 times. Okay, so 10 times is the number that they will call for the tier 2 exam. Okay, the next one is the cutoff for tier 1. Okay, cutoff plays a very important role for getting into the next phase of the exam. And if you see, it depends upon the category. So if you see the unreserved one, it is generally higher than all of the reserved caste. Okay, and for ST, it is the lowest one. Okay, okay, so if you see, when the vacancies are more, obviously the shortlisting number of candidates will be more. Okay, so like 3,60,000 people qualified for the tier 1. In that case, cutoff will obviously be reduced. Okay, so in order to predict what could be the cutoff for the upcoming CGL 2025, I am going to exclude this year because this year the vacancies are more. Okay, so I have excluded year 2022 and I am trying to see what could be the benchmark for tier 1. What I did a very simple mathematics. First, I have taken the mean. After that, I calculated the variance, and if you see in UR and OBC, variance is very huge. After that, I took the standard deviation, that is 1 sigma I have taken. Okay, and sigma, if you see, it is more or less around 10 only. So what could be the lower benchmark? Lower benchmark means if 68%, 1 sigma means 68% of the cases will fall into this category. So mean minus this 1 sigma, it is 10. So 131, and the upper is 141 plus 10, it is 151. Okay, similarly you can do with the other category also, 126, 146, 120, 139. Just you need to add the mean cutoff with the standard deviation. Okay, so the conclusion for the upcoming exam, for that I have made this particular session. The number of vacancy could be around 8,000, and the number of candidate registered and appeared is more or less 50%. It will definitely be less than that. And the next and very important one is the shortlisting ratio for tier 1 would be around 10 times. And the cutoff for tier 1 I have taken only for the unreserved. You can see the previous slide, it is above 150. Okay, so if you are getting above 150, there is best chances that you will clear tier 1. Okay, okay, so thank you, and if you have anything to say, you can write in our comment box. We will be very happy to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.